Hello everyone, today we're going to be learning how to make that glowing effect that you just saw. So create a new document. Mine is 1920 by 1080, and select a grayish, like a dark gray kind of color here. Click OK, hit Alt Delete to fill that, and then create a new layer. Go to the Elliptical Marquee tool and make an oval like that. Alright, so then press Alt, or select white, and press Alt Delete for that, and then press Control D to deselect. Then press Control T to bring up the transformation, and rotate it diagonally, and hold Shift and drag one of the corners to enlarge it, and put it across the middle of the image like that. Alright, that looks good. Now go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and turn it all the way up, and blur it. Alright, now set this to Overlay. Now create a new layer in between that blurred layer and the background layer, and take out your text tool and type in whatever you want it to say. I'm going to enlarge this. Make sure that you make the text white. Alright, so I'm going to enlarge this just a little bit more. And here's another thing you can do. Bring up the text thing, and I'm going to select all of this, and I'm going to change the distance between the letters to 200. Now let's use 300. And that makes it look more spaced out, so it fills up more of the screen. Okay, so now press Control, click the text layer, and click the background layer, and then go to this Move tool, and we're going to align it using this button and this button, which aligns it to the middle and to the center. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to set this to Overlay as well, and we are going to set this to about 80%, or let's do 60% opacity here. And then create a new layer above the blurred layer, and fill that in with black. Press Alt Delete. Alright, now set this to Overlay, and we're going to set that to about 60% opacity. Change the text layer down even more to about 30% opacity, and move it above the blurred layer. Okay? So now we have this. Now, the blurred layer has like a white spot in the middle, so what we can do to fix that is just go to Filter, Gaussian Blur, and blur it again. That looks better. Okay, so now above the text layer, create a new layer, and go to the Brush tool, go to Brush Settings, go to Brush Presets, and select the top one, which should be 0% hardness. Change this to about 100 pixels, and then go back to the brush, check Shape Dynamics, and we're going to put the angle jitter all the way up, and we're going to put the size jitter all the way up, and we're going to put the roundness jitter to about 50%. Okay, then we're going to go to Scattering, and you're going to scatter both axes, and turn it all the way up to 1000%, and turn the count jitter all the way up to 100%, and turn the count down to 1. Okay, then we're going to go to Transfer. Put the opacity jitter all the way up at 100%, and turn the flow jitter all the way down to 0%. Alright, now that we have that, make sure you have white selected, and we're just going to paint behind it. Alright, now set that to Overlay as well, and change that opacity to about 50%. And to make it look darker, you can change the opacity of the black layer. That looks pretty good. You can also play with the lighting effect by moving the text layer around or the blurred layer. I'm just going to keep it where it is. And that is the effect. So, I hope you enjoyed. Please comment on the video, like the video, and subscribe. Thanks. See ya.